Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Tuesday, June the 6th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, please send us an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to in the pre-market session. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through to the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so taking a look at yesterday, very tight day. Our main hypothesis was an open auction in range, a move down to test the LVN, possibly come down into the lower distribution, and then rotate up and continue the auction upward. Hypo 2 was opposite, open auction in range, failure to break out or false breakout, and then rotate down, chop around in the 34 area, and then come down into the 30 area. And then Hypo 3 was an open auction in range, a move up, and then a move to make a new high, but then to chop sideways and fight the range high and have a consolidation day. We kind of got a little bit of 1 and a little bit of 3, but no range whatsoever. It was just brutal. And we just basically chopped sideways inside of the value area from the prior day and inside of the initial balance. Now that's 4 days in the last 7 trading days that we've had a very low probability day. We had the 2 days where we did not take out the Globex high or low. That's only a 3% probability. And then we had 2 days where we traded inside of the IB, which is also a 3% probability. So we're seeing some very rare occurrences clustering here as we move into the big day, which will be Thursday of this week, where we've got the elections, the UK elections. We've got Comey speaking. We've got ECB speaking. We've got the ECB rate. We've got rollover. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on coming into the weekend this weekend. So let's take a look at the news and see what news we have today. It's a pretty light news day as far as scheduled news. We did not have any news at 8:30 this morning. We do have 10 o'clock Canadian ID PMI, U.S. JOLTS jobs, IBT tip economic, and that's about it for the scheduled news today. So not a lot of news. Of course, we still have the situation in Qatar that we're waiting to see how that resolves and how that's going to affect our natural gas and our crude. Other than that, it's been an interesting night overnight. You can see that, let me just expand this out. You can see that we did break down. I pointed this out, and I wanted to show this, so let me bring this up. I pointed this out yesterday afternoon when we had closed. Where's my paper money? Oh, here it is. That on the daily, we had a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky, and the tech gap close on this is sitting right around the 2150 area. And the 2150 area is actually the 50% retracement of the significant breakout candle. So here's your FUBAR, puts in the new all-time high, gets the volume spike, then you've got the inside bar, Mr. Sneaky, and you've got the technical gap against the 9 EMA. And now overnight, we failed to break the low, during the Globex, the low Globex yesterday was 33, and we only got down to 33.50 in the RTH session. Overnight, we broke that 33, and that's where I noted that we've got this formation setting up here. We're seeing the first sign of weakness. Very important to note on this as well is that the first move and the move down, okay, or the impulse wave, okay, was associated with OTF activity. And you can see that every time that the move down came in, you had heavy OTF participation. So that's telling me that we're seeing a change of guard where the buyers have been in control. And yesterday they failed to, the buyers kept on getting absorbed at that 38.50. And now the sellers have taken control right now in the Globex session and are pushing this down towards this naked VPOC at 24.75 and the 50% of the significant breakout candle, which is that 21.50 area. So just taking a step back quickly, because I do like to do this each day, just take a look at the macro to micro. I use my candlestick chart with a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. I'm looking for slope and separation, seeing where we are within the trend in each time frame. You can see beautiful trend again on the monthly. Doesn't even get challenged until we get into the low 2300s. On the weekly, same thing. Beautiful upward trend. Doesn't even get challenged until we get below the 2400. On the daily, we just talked about that we do have that technical gap that will get closed at 21.50, but still the trend is intact. Going into the intraday, you can see that now we're getting a bit of rollover here, and we're breaking below the 9 and the 20 for the first time since this session right here on the 31st of May. So going further down into the 1 hour, you can see that that's accelerated to the downside, and the trend is accelerating in the 1 hour. 30-minute, same thing, failed to take it back. They challenged it, but failed to violate. Got the continuation pattern, and they continue to move down on the 30-minute. On the 15-minute, they are coming up to challenge it. They're trying to get above the 9 and the 20 right now. If they do hold this this 29 area, we could see a move back up into the 30. Going to the 5-minute, you can see we have violated the downward trend and possibly starting an upward trend, but sideways consolidation at the moment. So taking a look at the big picture, the structure, you can see now normally I would leave the breakout candle out of this profile, and I can do that. It doesn't really change the point of control. The point of control is very clearly around that 36.50, but the value area, I wanted to see where the value comes in between the overlap on these 2 days. So I did include the breakout candle, and I think it's significant because it shows that value, we're still inside the longer term value because we got the overlap from Thursday and Friday. I've got this involved, and we've got a microcomposite HVN here at 29 where we're sort of just chopping around right now. But important that we are going to gap down. So the one-time framing that we've seen to the upside since this day right here on the 31st has been violated. So we have our first change of guard with a gap. So we're going to have a pretty significant gap right now as it stands. That gap off of the close. What are we trading? We're trading 28.75. So 28.75. The close yesterday was 34.75. So the half gap fill is 31.75 approximately. Of course, we don't know where we're going to open yet, so this will probably likely get changed. And then the range gap is going to be basically just down here at the 31. But I like to go against the close. So we've got a lot of thin profile below us, both below the 29 and the 2475. 2475 is the next big target below. That is the naked VPOC from the breakout day. So pay attention to that. But we're pretty thin. 2750 is going to be my over-under line, because it takes us out of value. In fact, I'm going to use 27 instead, because it is Thursday or Friday's range low. And then our next big target below that is the 2475, the 50% of the significant breakdown candle, which is 2175. I thought it was 2150, but it is 2175. Right now, our 20-period daily ATR full session is running at 1525. So off of the high overnight, our high overnight is 3550. So basically one tick above the value area high, and our overnight low is down at 26.25. And our downside daily ATR off of the range high at 3550 minus the 15.25 takes us down to 20.25. And off of our overnight low might get expanded, but currently our daily upside ATR target is 41. So taking a look at the overnight inventory is about 90% net short. We've got a triple distribution. We've got a LVN here at 29.25, which is just above where we are right now. That is going to be a trade level. And then we've got one up here at 33.50. That's a no-brainer. It is the range low from yesterday. Our overnight VPOC is likely going to shift down here, so I'm not going to put it in yet. I want to see, but likely if we chop some more around in this lower distribution, we're going to get a VPOC shift down. So value will be coming down from overnight. It started up here. Well, it actually started up here. Then it shifted down to 32.75, then down to 31, and it's likely to come down here to the 28.25 if they print some more down here. So we don't need this anymore. That takes care of that. We'll wait to see where the overnight VPOC is. In terms of trading, because we're in this, we're going to be in this gap zone, you want to be paying close attention to these levels right here, with the main balance being around that 2950 microcomposite VPOC. I'm going to shift this just slightly up to that 2950. That puts us above the LVN overnight and will put us on the other side of this 2950 area. And above that, I'm going to be targeting for that half gap against the range low, okay, which is going to be roughly around 31, with the secondary being the 31.75. And then above, once we get inside of yesterday, so the gap is going to be pretty substantial right now. Let's say it's 29, so 29 against the close. It's going to be about a 6-point gap. Depending on where we open up right now. So I am looking for it to come up. If we get inside of yesterday, I think and they leave the overnight low alone, I think they go for the overnight high. It's just above the value area low. This is a valid value area, very strong Gaussian distribution. And then inside of that, target the 37.25 naked VPOC, and then the value area high. And then, of course, I would be using the 39.75 all-time high to go up and put in a new all-time high and take out that 41. Now, that's not what I think is going to happen. What I really think is going to happen is we're going to get an open auction out of range. So my hypo 1 is open auction out of range, a push up towards the half gap fill, possibly even test the range low, but I'm looking for initiative sellers to step in. So I'm looking for responsive buying up into the 31 to 33 area. Then I'm looking for initiative sellers to step in and rotate us down, with our main target being that over underline and the range low, chop down around here, take out the overnight low, and then push through and come down into this 24.75 area where we're likely to go sideways. Again, I think that you're going to see an initial move in the morning, and then we're going to drift sideways during the day. Again, waiting on this news coming in on Thursday. Hypo 2 is an open auction out of range, a push down to test the 27 and either leave the overnight low alone or take it out, possibly even come down to the 24, but between 24 and 27, I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in and start working our way back up towards the 33.50, chopping around here and then pushing up and closing back up inside and in around the microcomposite VPOC around the 36.50. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 obviously has to be a take-back day. This is Tuesday, so this could be turnaround Tuesday. So we'd be looking for an open test drive or an open drive and failure to close the gap, leave the gap open, and push down to the 24, chop around here, and then push down, okay, down into the 21, possibly come down and test our key line in the sand below, which is our previous all-time high at the 17.75, which should be our support on the way down. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is an open auction out of range, failure to close the gap completely, but chop, okay, between the 24 and the 33 area, okay, and just chop sideways and fill in the auction in around the 29 area and just go sideways. And then there is an alternative hypo, which is a open auction out of range, failure to take out the overnight low, hold the Friday low, and then push up into the prior day, chop around here, and then go up and make a new high and hit the daily ATR target up here at 41 and close somewhere up here in new all-time highs, or come back slightly and close just inside of the prior day range. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. I want to take a look at gold. Gold made a big move overnight. We talked about this the last couple days. This I posted on April the 25th. Our first target was hit the other day, I think yesterday, in the Globex or the morning. And then our secondary target, okay, was hit overnight at 12.95.40. The extended target, which is bonus, is all the way up to 13.14.40. I do think they're going to go for the 1300, so this is still a valid target to me. I did get my runner last night. We talked, and I got long on gold when they stuffed that 82.70 with 145 contracts. I jumped in right away. put a big word in the room for everybody to ponder about. And my runner, I went to bed, I left my runner on because I had nice Theo built from my scales, and I had my target sitting at 95.40, and it got taken out and woke up to a nice surprise. Did $12.60 on my runner on gold, so it was a really good trade. And got to start thinking in bigger terms again in terms of swing trading on gold. I haven't done a lot of it, so I've got to start. Taking a look at the composite for gold, you can see that we had this other target too, which was the micro composite VPOC at 1290, which we talked about yesterday morning, with the secondary target and the primary target of the cup and handle. And now we're trading just one tick below that right now. I'm looking for a little bit of resistance to come in here at the 1298.10, so watch that area, and likely come back and chop around the 1290 to 1295 area. But if we do break, okay, above the 1298, they will likely go for that 1300 and test this last fractal high at 1307. And the next big target above, of course, is the 1305.70, resistance at 1308.40, and then of course the cup and handle extended target up at the 1314.15 area. So, I think that we're probably likely to stall out, but this could get some legs, especially with people trying to get risk off coming into the UK election and the Comey, in case we have a big move back in the indices. Now, I mentioned I had posted another chart in the room, and looking at how big this move can be to come back. I mean, obviously the big move is going to be down to the 1350, but it would not surprise me. The 38% brings us down into the 38% retracement of this larger move up. Okay, takes us back down into the 2398, but the 61.8 takes us all the way back into this balance zone right here that it all started on. So, I think the move could be bigger than people think. I mean, I don't know. I just have this feeling that this retracement, we have not had a big retracement for a while, and this big move back. And I'm going to be looking for failure now, and I haven't done it for a while, but I'm going to start looking to put on a swing short on the ES if I get confirmation and continuation to the downside. So I will be aggressively shorting pullbacks and any setups that get me short to see if I can start building an intraday position, and then if I build enough Theo, I will start to hold overnight. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.